and he's on, he comes in there and he's like, I'd like to speak to the guy that's doing these strikes. That was me. So I go in there and he's like, yeah, I just wanted to meet you. I was like, oh, I'm glad to meet you too, sir. What would you like to talk about? He's like, well, I've just never met one of you before. And I'm thinking, like, first of all, what do you mean one of you? Like, who are you referring to when you say that? And do you even know like what I do? And he did clarify he never met a human intelligence collector face to face, which was a huge shock to me because he's a one-star general. I mean, us on the ground would expect that a general would have met someone like us before, maybe not in that capacity in Iraq, but at least somewhere on the base. And the second point that the reason he wanted to talk to me is I saw these numbers, and I'm approving all these strikes, and it says here 80. It was actually 86, and he said, I have a problem with that number. I was like, oh, what is that? And he said, well, it's divisible by 2. And I said, oh, okay, but that's the number. And I actually validated that with multiple other human sources who corroborated that. I had someone working in the hospital that counted bodies coming in. I had somebody that was working on the construction team that was counting bodies out of the rubble. Like, I was verifying these numbers as accurately as I could. And he's like, yeah, but it just doesn't sit right. This even number doesn't feel true. And I said, well, what would you like me to do, sir? He's like, well, can you just make it an odd number?
Oh, God.
And I said, with all due respect, I can't do that. That's not the information that I received. And he's like, okay, but just, in the future, if you could make the numbers odd, they'd be better understood by my staff. And it kind of went on like that. It was the rest of the meeting. And it was just, the whole thing was a shock to me because I kind of put a lot of faith before that in these general officers. Nothing against them, but they're such generalists that they don't really understand what's happening on the ground. They're just approving stuff that someone else told them.